In this lesson, we'll take a look at how we can combine multiple procedural nodes together. So let's say that we want to create a texture for the back of this engine. So we can use some of the procedural nodes that we've used up to this point to get a start on it. So let's go ahead and jump into our Hypershade. Let's create a new material, create a new blend, and you can see it down here in our work area. We'll just double click on this, and let's go ahead and name this something like engine back blend. Okay, and let's take a look at what this looks like in our node editor that's new in 2013. So go ahead and open up our node editor. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and middle mouse drag the engine blend over here into our work area and go ahead and open it up. Okay, so here you can see all of the inputs and outputs available here. So here's color RGB, and you can see that there. So what we want to do now is add a ramp to this. So let's do this in the node editor. So we'll right click and say create node, and then we want to create a ramp. So we're going to go to 2D textures, create ramp. All right, I'll move this out of the way. And so there you can see our ramp and our placement node. Okay, and so you can open this up and you can see some of the things that you can change there on the ramp. So we want to load the ramp into the color. Okay, so we can choose to send the out color here. So this is where we're deciding what we want to send out. Okay, if we were to go ahead and open this up, you can see that we have that all broken down, so we can just click on the out color. Okay, so we can take our out color, and you can see we get a little connector, and we can just pipe it right into the color of our blend. So that has the same effect of going into our material. We jump back here. It has the same effect of clicking on this and jumping through and creating that node that way. So this is just more of a kind of a graphic way of representing that. So here we have our ramp connected into the color. I'll go ahead and kind of minimize that a little bit. All right, so now we can start to change the color here. So we first go ahead and assign the material, and then we can come into our ramp and change it as we normally would. So let's create a U ramp, and let's again add a gray to the middle. Okay, and we'll maybe make this a little bit of a kind of a blue gray. Maybe something like that. And then at the base, let me pull this down a little bit. At the base, we'll make that more of kind of a black. Okay, and let's go ahead and pull this down. I'm going to change the interpolation to smooth. I'm going to add another gray in there and kind of push that out. Kind of push that black all the way down there. Okay, and then I'll take this blue and make it black. Then I'll pull this out until we get some black coming out. There we go. You can see the black starting to come out there. We can also come in here and start to add some shadowing inside here if we want to. Kind of move that in a little bit, smooth it out a little. Okay, so we're able to now add detail on here. But let's say we want to start to break up the shape a little bit, or break up the color here a little bit. So what we can do is start to combine procedural elements to different attributes. So let's say specular color. Okay, we can go ahead, right click, create node, and let's grab, instead of our ramp, let's just grab some simple noise. Okay, so now we have noise here, and we can open that up. Okay, so for the noise, let's go ahead and take the out color and let's pipe it into the specular color. Okay, there automatically you can see that specular color update. It's not in the actual color, it's in the specularity. Okay, so now we have a couple of procedural nodes piped into different attributes. So we've got the color being affected by the ramp, and then we've got the specular color being affected by this noise. We can then open up the noise. We can change some of these values in here. We can take this amplitude down so it's not quite so contrasty. We can increase the frequency ratio, which you can see makes that a bit smaller. If you come down here, there are different types of noise: billow, purlin noise, wispy noise, wave. So there's different kinds of shapes. I think the purlin looks good. It gives it kind of a metallic sort of a look. We can then go in and tweak the specularity settings themselves. So coming in here and changing the eccentricity, changing the roll-off, okay, and the color is being driven now by the noise, okay, and so you can really start to get some nice effects there just by combining different procedural nodes together. So you could pipe another procedural into the diffuse, or you could pipe one into the transparency if you had something like that, into the incandescence. Okay, and this node editor makes it really nice because you can just kind of grab those and drag them over. You can do similar things in the Hypershade, definitely. So if we jump into the Hypershade here just to see what this looks like. So it's all kind of jumbled together at this point. But let's grab this and let's just map it here. And so you can see we sort of have the same kind of look here. We have our material, and then we have the nodes and the placement nodes here, and then you can see these little lines, and if we hover over the lines, it'll tell you what attribute of this is connected to what attribute of this. So you can see that here the noise out color is connected to the specular color, and then the ramp out color is connected to just the color. Okay, and you can do similar things as far as dragging this across and connecting things up, but it's not as visual. So if you want to try out the node editor and see if that works a little bit better for you, some other applications use similar types of connections like this. If you've used 3ds Max, the Slate material editor is kind of similar to this, or some compositing applications. You'll be able to click and drag these connections over really quickly. So it depends on your preferences, really. Okay, so that is a quick look at how we can start to combine multiple procedural nodes and combine those in materials using different material attributes. We'll look a little bit later at how we can start to actually merge and combine procedural nodes together as we start to add some of the bump value. Okay, but in the next lesson, let's just take a look at how we can start to add some specialized materials that Maya offers to get a unique look. So go ahead and do that in the next lesson.